Hello everyone. In this video we will continue our third chapter, that is learning curve. So yesterday we discussed the meaning of learning curve, some examples of learning curve and the applications of the learning curve and the phases or the stages of learning curve. So learning curve, it is the relationship between the learner's performance and number of attempts. So his process of learning the activities with the number of attempts, that is called as learning curve. So now in this video we will discuss what are the factors, what are the things which will affect the learning curve, and also we will discuss the meaning of experience curve and difference between the learning curve and the experience curve. So what are the factors which are affecting the learning curve? First one is the labor cost. So labor cost, whatever the labor cost the company is fixing for the labor, for the worker, it affects the learning capacity, doing capacity of the labor. Suppose if the labor cost or the payment of wages is high, he is getting high wage for doing specific work, means he will be influenced to do that work more efficiently. He will do that work because he will get some reasonable amount of wages. So if he is getting some reasonable amount of wages which he can use for his daily life, for family, etc., he will be encouraged to do that work more efficiently. So learning curve will increase, his learning capacity will increase, and also he will try not to do any kind of wastages, and also he will also try to do it in the less number of attempts. So labor cost, payment of salaries, payment of wages, incentives, bonus, these are the factors which affects every kind of employee. So here also labor cost is a main factor which is affecting the learning curve. Next is the method of production. So here method of production is also depends, like it is handmade process of manufacturing the goods, or machine oriented process. So learning curve, so if it is handmade process, women have to involve in the manufacturing process. This involves separate learning stages, and if the laborers have to use the machines, equipments for the manufacturing of the goods, it has separate set of guidelines to be followed. So here type of or method of production also influence the learning curve. For example, mostly the laborers in the manufacturing department, the daily laborers will be illiterate. They may not know about how to operate the machineries. So if some workers are like that, they will take more time to understand the operating guidelines of that specific machine. So here their learning curve will be slow, and they will take more attempts to do the work more efficiently. So in case the worker is a skilled one, he will learn things very easily. In one attempt or second attempt only, he will understand the guidelines how to operate that specific machine. So here depends upon the what kind of method the company is following. The next and the most important is uninterrupted flow and stable condition of the work. So here example like workers strike and lockdowns, like this lockdowns, and company is not concentrating on employees welfare. So these are the situation scenarios which interrupts the flow of the production. So if company is not good with their employees, how can employees be good with the a company, right? So if they are providing all kind of welfare services, providing salaries on time, providing wages on time, looking after their security safety measures, and also providing them some kind of incentives, insurance, for providing some loans for their children's education. So these are the things, by doing these things the company can motivate their employees to work more and more for the company's welfare. So if the company is not working for the welfare of the employees, then interruption in the flow and stable condition of work will be there, like doing strikes and doing logouts and doing protest, etc. Next is degree of motivation. So here also degree of motivation matters. How much motivation they will get, that much learning capacity will increase. So giving motivation, motivating, encouraging is in the hands of the company's top level management. Provide doing some kind of programs, doing some kind of workshops, enhancing their skills, motivating them, providing some kind of workshops to maintain their motivation, to inspire them. These are the kind of work which should be done by the company people to motivate their employees, to maintain their employees motivation level, to work more and more for the company's welfare. And next is a complex task than the simple task. So here, according to some authors, if company has given some kind of complex task, that is difficult task, the employees will be more concentrated on doing it. So concentration level in the complex task, difficult task will be more, because they know in the beginning only that this is a difficult task. If we don't concentrate on learning this a specific task, we will find difficulty in the future. So they are more concentrated on, they are more aware, their listening capacity will be more. If things in normal life also, if we come up across some kind of complex thing, difficult thing, which we know that this particular thing is a bit difficult to do, like solving some kind of problem. So if teacher for in the beginning only, if teacher awares the student that this specific method of solving the problem, or this specific formula is a bit difficult, students will be more aware, they will be more concentrating on the lecture, right? So like that only, in company, in manufacturing, or in any kind of business organization, if employees get to know about some kind of complex things, they will be more concentrating on those things. So if employees are concentrating, they have some all their mind towards the concept, towards learning that specific thing, the learning speed will increase, because they will initially they will be concentrating, they will collect everything, every kind of guidelines, and while implementing, while using, they will easily they can implement the things. So if the work is simple, if you know that this work is very simple, easy, or let it be, we can do it, like that kind of attitude, that is overconfidence, sometimes less learning curve in the simple things. As we know the things are very easy, we will show some kind of negligence in learning those things. So it indirectly affects the learning curve. Next is, that is what job repeated often. So if one thing we are doing again and again, so again and again, if we are doing the same thing, like yesterday I told you, reading of that law book. So if we are started reading law book daily, we are reading 5 pages. The next day we are reading 5 pages. The next day we will read 10 pages. So here our learning capacity has increased because we are doing that work oftenly. We are doing that work regularly. Like that only, if we are doing the work, if we are doing some work daily, we will get to used to it, and our efficiency of doing the work will increase. Next is valid data. So if we have valid data from the organization, like for example, a new software has come into the organization. Now employees have have to use that specific software. So they have to use a specific software. So if managers provide a specific kind of guidelines, workshops, and kind of programs to train the employees to use that specific software, there will be valid data, and employees can rely on that data provided from the training sessions, and they can increase their learning capacity. Another one point is negative attitude. So in employees, if employees have a negative kind of attitude, so negativity is not of use. It always gives us loss only. If we think negative, if we don't have a positive nature in ourselves, how can we motivate to learn the things? If we, before doing the things only, if we think negatively that I can't do this thing, this is very difficult, this is not my cup of tea, like that, how can we improve our learning capacity, right? So that is also one factor which affects the learning capacity. So these are the factors affecting the learning capacity, learning curve. Next important concept is experience curve. So here we have discussed the learning curve. There is another terminology which is experience curve. So experience curve, it is nothing but the indirect inverse relationship between total value of added cost of the product and company's experience. So here in simple terms, if you want to know, is it is the relationship between the total cost of the product and company's experience in manufacturing or in marketing. So illi total cost, it includes all kind of direct cost, indirect cost like administration, fixed cost, all the kind of selling expenses, distribution cost, every kind of cost which is attached to the product, total value of the product. So that one, and the company's experience in marketing and manufacturing. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಕಂಪನಿದು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿದು ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ of the product is total cost of the product is increasing, the company's experience in manufacturing will be difficult because manufacturing of the product has high cost, manufacturing of the product is high cost, then they have to price the goods also high. So if we are pricing our goods at a higher price, there is a difficulty in the marketing of those goods, because customers want their product at reasonable price. So in this situation, whatever the scenario faced by the company, that is an experience for the company. So that is called as experience curve. Because of increase or decrease in the cost of the product, what is the situation faced by the company in manufacturing and marketing of the product. So next important concept and the last theory concept in the third chapter is difference between learning curve and experience curve. Now we have know that what is experience curve and learning curve. Learning curve, it is simply the relationship between the learner's performance and the number of attempts he is taking to do any specific type of work. Experience curve is the inverse relationship between the total value of the product and the company's experience relevant to the marketing and the manufacturing activities. So let's discuss the difference. So first, this experience curve, as it deals with all type of total cost. So this is macro in nature. It is dealing in large concept. It is covering the total cost, so only it is macro in the concept. But the learning curve, as we are only concentrating on our laborers, employees, their willingness to do the work. So here we are only concentrating on the labor cost, so only it is micro in nature. It covers lesser concept, that is, it only covers about employees cost, about labor cost. So this point is related to this only. All the cost and effect are reflected by experience curve. So that only I told, no, all the cost, how the total cost is affecting the company's experience, it is reflected in the experience curve. But learning curve related only labor cost and the situation consequences, reduction in the learning curve is much. So because means how much the cost we have studied, right? Labor cost is also a factor affecting the learning curve. So how much the cost, that much will be the higher the cost, that much will be the learning curve high. Learning capacity will also be high by the employees, because they will get high cost for doing specific work. So this is all about the third chapter, learning curve theory. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the group, and refer this PPT as notes. Okay, thank you. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and that's it. Thank you.